All right. Somehow there's a trio here again. How did that happen?
That's the way we like it, bro.
I guess.
Getting winners. West Virginia. Huh?
Yeah. How about Utah State? That's the one that made him mad.
Let's talk about that.
Hey, to be fair, though, the only one that I ended up by the time it was all said and done to lock in was West Virginia, and that ended up coming through. So,
we'll talk about that game, Bob.
We will. But the good thing about my night last night is I only got to bet a few things, so I didn't lose as much money as I could have. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. All right. Discord link below, folks. Get in on it. And by the way, these are permanent codes. Bob20 and Mike20 for 20% off any OddsJam subscription. It's permanent, okay? So that means they will always be there, okay? So let's get in on that. By the way, I just want to point out, Mike, we just for the first time in morning coffee went over 50 units profits. Thank you very much.
50.2 units. Okay, I see you. All right, not bad.
And Randall is a part of that because he's contributed.
Well,
and
I was going to say here lately, there's probably all your unit playing.
No, trust me, man. We've been hot. Before we get anywhere, there is trade news to talk about. Okay, and this Brooklyn trade with KD, Mike, this thing's insane. We're talking 4 first-round draft choices.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
I guess I figure you're not going to find a Kevin Durant in the next 4 or 5 drafts or something. But, hey, I don't know who's going to play defense for Phoenix. That's what I want to know. I mean, you got rid of some guys that are pretty good two-way players. Who the heck is going to play defense, man? And Ben Simmons isn't playing defense for Phoenix. He's stuck in Brooklyn.
For Brooklyn, I meant.
No, I'm talking about Phoenix, man. I don't know who's going to play Booker. He ain't going to play no defense. Durant, maybe 5 minutes worth. Chris Paul, heck, they were just trying to ship him out, man. I don't know how this is all going to work, but I'm not penciling in the Suns for the NBA Finals myself.
All right. And then quickly, not to be left out, the NHL makes a big trade with Vladimir Tarasenko going to the Rangers. Randall's Rangers. Randall is a year late, possibly, with the Rangers.
Actually, no, because the Rangers are going to – everybody's going to be on Boston in the East. Tampa Bay is going to get some love still. So, the Rangers could be once again a dark horse, man. There could be some value to be had on the Rangers even this year.
Before we get to Randall, Greg Voice wants to know, Mike, Jordan Poole, did you sprinkle on the plus 900?
Yes. And I tweeted that earlier because we'd found a positive EV play on Jordan Poole on his over player points. And looking at the game last night, it was a good chance Jordan Poole. It was a 2-man race. It was either going to be Jordan Poole or Damian Lillard who was going to be the highest scorer last night, right? So,
right.
I liked the plus 900 chance there, value, and yes, that's awesome.
Alex Englander, Golden Hour boys, let's get it. So, Randall, you got any thoughts on these NBA trades other than it's a clown show? And you're normal.
Hey, it's a joke of a league. These guys just, flip-flop teams, demand trades. It's a circus. I have zero interest in watching it at all whatsoever. I say that, and I'll be at the Pacers Bulls game next Wednesday, but I really have no interest in this league. What I saw today, Josh Richardson from the Spurs to where did he go? To the Pelicans for 5 second-round picks.
What?
These second-round picks, these teams are – there was another trade that was involved, 3 or 4 second-round picks for one guy. It's just – I don't understand. I guess the second-round pick's not worth anything maybe. I don't know. Like I said, the league is – is a total circus. I mean, I legitimately have zero interest in it. I mean, give me college basketball all day long. But with that said, I mean, college basketball, talking about last night with Utah State, I don't know if you saw what happened there, but they ended up Utah State should have won that game, first of all, but there were technical fouls assessed. 2 players from the Utah State team were ejected. A player from San Diego State was ejected. A couple plays later, Utah State got another technical, and they ended up losing by 2. So they had a chance, but they didn't get it done. And actually, you know, Utah State is in they're in a tough spot now because they do not have a single quad 1 win. And you know, this team is 19-6 now. I mean, there's a real possibility that, I mean, if Utah State wins, I mean, at this point, I think they have to win the Mountain West, but I mean, you could see 4 teams, maybe 5 teams from the Mountain West.
What? Seriously?
Well, I mean, three for sure. So San Diego State's in, I would say. I mean, they're ranked right now. Nevada is probably in. Boise State is currently in. And then Utah State and New Mexico. I mean, New Mexico was solid. They were ranked earlier this year. I mean, very real possibility you could have 5 teams from the Mountain West. Now, Utah State or New Mexico may have to win the Mountain West title to get in, which, you know, would potentially theoretically eliminate another one. But I mean, it could be insane here. Mountain West could have quite a few teams involved in the tournament. So we'll see. You know the Big Ten's going to. They're going to have a huge list of teams.
Well, I'm going to throw something out at both of you guys right now that nobody was on yesterday, and it was a positive EV play, and that was the Alabama game, -9.5, and the over in that game, and they both hit. And boys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't think Alabama's for real, Mike, Randall, I believe they are for real. You don't believe so?
No. I mean, I've watched
your
them
first
play.
thing.
I mean, I watched them play at Missouri. I mean, okay, fine, you know, somewhat impressive win, I guess. But, I mean, they got smoked in Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma took them to the woodshed. And the game that they played against Mississippi State, I mean, looking here just at the box score, they shot 5 for 28 from 3. I mean, unless they get red hot like Villanova did when they took down Kansas down in San Antonio, they're not going to win. You cannot depend on the 3 ball to win. That's not
or like Norfolk State did against Missouri years ago, or like Richmond did against Iowa last year. Mike,
I'm telling you right now though, Saturday, Alabama is at they're at Auburn. That's back up the S10, Bob.
For what, Auburn?
Oh yeah, all day long. Auburn's got to win. I mean, they have to have that game. And if they do, they're in the tournament. And people forget, everybody was so high on Auburn in this, you know, how good they were, you know, at home. And then they lost that game to Texas A&M, which we had A&M in that game. And everybody forgets that. They had a 26-27 game home win streak. And, I mean, Auburn's tough at home. And one thing about Alabama, when they score 80+, they're usually a pretty good fade the next game. But one thing I want to throw out here, and this is something worth noting for all of you watching or anybody who's going to watch this later, and you'll see it probably around the tournament depending on who you follow and what you watch. But typically the team that wins the national championship is, you know, top 40 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And actually Tennessee for a while was kind of at the top of that. They've actually now found their way out of the top 40, at least from an offensive efficiency standpoint. But Alabama actually now does kind of fit that mold. They're seventh in defensive efficiency, and they're 25th in offensive. Or I'm sorry, they're 31st in offensive, and then UConn is another one that fits both offense and defense in the top 40 with that. So it's going to be interesting. Houston actually is leaps and bounds above everybody. Houston's number 2 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And actually last night, that was a bad miss. I think they were laying 26.5, 27.5 against Tulsa. And that was pretty well a name your score. But just as the tournament goes on, there was one team last year that was top 40 offensive and defensive efficiency. And you know who that was in the Final Four?
Who's that?
It's Kansas. I mean, then they won the tournament. And so there is something to a team in March, top 40 offensive, defensive efficiency. And
sure,
you can find this stuff. I'm on my computer now, so I don't have it pulled up. But if you just Google team rankings and you type in offensive efficiency for college basketball, you can look at all those stats. It's updated every single day. But it's interesting because if a team does not fit that mold, they usually don't win the tournament. The one outlier was UConn the year they won it all as the 8 seed. So got to be top 40 both offensively and defensively to get it done in the tournament. So we'll see.
There you go. Jump on Alabama. What did I say?
I mean, they fit it. They actually didn't. They've come a long way actually offensively. You look at Alabama, and earlier in the year they were 50, 60, but they've found their way to number 31 for offensive efficiency. But I'm telling you, that Auburn game on Saturday, that's a backup to S10 on Auburn. We're going to be.
Remember, Randall, you said this is not a good week for you.
It's not, but I mean, 2-1 this week. It's not been bad. I've got nothing tonight, nothing tomorrow. There's some good games on Saturday that I'm going to be taking advantage of.
Okay. Mike, any thoughts on Alabama real quick?
I'm not so sure I'm sold 100% on them either yet. I just don't think that, when you look at some of the games, the Mississippi State game and the one where, Mississippi State shot terrible themselves, were awful at the free throw line, and they were hanging around a little bit in that game. Alabama ended up pulling away because Mississippi State was just so bad. And I don't think that Alabama is an all-around offensive and defensive juggernaut. I just don't see it. And somehow they're sitting in the top, third in the nation. I don't know.
What about Arizona, Texas, UCLA, Virginia, and even Marquette? Those are top 10 teams. Do any of those have a chance, guys?
All pretenders, in my opinion. What do you think about Purdue, Bob?
I've never been a Purdue fan. All the way back to Gene Katie. I never liked him. So, we've got – who's their coach now? What's his name?
Matt Painter.
Matt Painter, right. Didn't he play for Katie?
What do you think about him, though? Do they have a chance? You know what? I was talking to my buddy this morning. Very interesting point, and I hadn't even realized it. He pointed it out to me. Purdue's lost 2 games this year by a combined 4 or 5 points. There's no team in college basketball that's done that.
Yeah.
Houston got smoked by Temple at home. Bama got smoked by Oklahoma. Granted, albeit in Oklahoma, but Purdue's gone on the road in the Big Ten, which is traditionally a tough place to win games. And I think they lost by 5 at Indiana, and they lost at home by 1 to Rutgers. 2 losses for a Purdue team. They beat Gonzaga earlier in the year. They beat Duke earlier in the year. Not saying much about really either one of those teams who, Duke just got smoked at Miami, and Gonzaga was, on the road there at St. Mary's and lost in overtime. But, those were quality wins to start the year based on the preseason rankings. So it's very interesting. This Purdue team has 2 losses by a total of, 6 points. There's no other team in college basketball that can say that. So I don't know. I have a hard time buying into Purdue, but we'll see. They fit the mold though to be a national champion, both offensively and defensively. So
I mean, I think just looking at the top, 10 right now, Purdue is a team just because of their experience and how well they played this year that I trust more than a lot of the teams you just named, Bob. Texas and even out in Alabama. I mean, I trust Purdue a heck of a lot more than I do Alabama.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say it. Roll Tide. All right.
Are you on Bama, Bob?
I'm feeling Bama right now, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling Bama.
Okay.
Let's do it. You know what?
All
Match those two up right now. Let's see who wins.
Who?
Purdue and Bama. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. I call it right now. Make the match today.
I mean, Bama played Gonzaga earlier in the year too on a neutral when Gonzaga was struggling, and Gonzaga took it to them. I just don't know. I mean, I love Brandon Miller, but he's had a few games this year where he has just been
out of control.
Well, out of control, but he's just a no-show. I mean,
right. When he does stuff, he gets out of control and tries to. He's a little bit of a hot dog.
I mean, he's a freshman.
Right. He's a hot dog, man. And he's probably how is he forced to stay there more than his freshman year now, guys? I don't even remember what.
No, he can go to the NBA.
He can book anytime, right?
Yeah, he can go to the NBA. But I mean, he's a special player. But I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for this tournament. I'm ready. I need you, Bob, to give me your two locks in the first round, just so I can make sure that I'm not on those.
Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever. I can tell you going.
We do need that.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
You brought it up earlier. You mentioned Richmond. I
mentioned Richmond. We're lucky to win that game. You know that. Iowa was a good 3-point shooting team all year long and did not show up.
Again, you can't rely. Eventually, you're gonna. That's the problem when you get in the tournament. Just one off game and you're screwed.
You're done. I'm removing myself.
Yeah, well, that'd probably be a good idea.
Bob, we got 15 people in here to listen to you.
I know. I don't want to talk about last year.
Let's ask the people. Let's ask the people in the room. Who's the national champion? Who's your pick?
Drop it in the comments. Who do you want?
See who everybody thinks cutting down the nets.
Okay. All right.
Well, I will say one other thing. Houston, the Final Four is in Houston, so backyard game for them. So maybe a championship in Houston for Houston.
Very well could be. Purdue, one of the reasons that they don't impress me is that I'm just not I don't think the Big Ten is that great of a conference this year.
No,
really, I think it's down, don't you?
Oh, I think it's way down. I mean, Northwestern's third place. Northwestern's horrible.
Right.
Ohio's. I mean, I was looking today. Ohio State's 3-9 in the Big Ten. I mean,
wow, that's yeah. What's Wisconsin?
Horrible. I mean, yeah, Wisconsin's a joke. I mean, you're talking your top teams are Purdue, Nebraska, Northwestern. I mean, these guys are not Nebraska, but Purdue. Northwestern, Rutgers. I mean, Rutgers has been solid here for the last couple of years, but it's not your traditional. I mean, Sparty's down. Illinois is a joke.
Right. Rutgers just moved up 11 places to get into the top 25 at 24th.
Well, and then they just turned around and lost this week against Indiana.
Exactly.
So they're out.
Yeah. They'll be back out of the top 25. But no, I mean, it's tough to win on the road in the Big Ten. I mean, that is a fact. I mean, Michigan's down this year.
What do you guys think about Miami being a Sweet 16 team? Could that happen?
Miami's got a tough game on Monday against North Carolina. We'll be looking to take. I'll be looking to take North Carolina there.
There's Anthony Furlan. I think Purdue and Indiana could both make a deep run in the tourney. IU healthy and looking good. But my question is, who in the hell are they playing? Another Big Ten team? Well, that's really tough.
I mean, Indiana, I think I mean, they have the talent. The only thing that worries me about Indiana is away from home. They're not as good of a team as they are in Bloomington. And I mean, Mike Woodson, I don't know if I trust him in a tournament game. I don't know if I trust him. But I mean, Indiana is healthy. They're playing very, very well. Certainly could be a team that could make a run for sure.
Right.
I mean, I'm a little biased, but I like UConn. I think they're getting hot at the right time, but obviously have a future on them. Would love to see that personally, but I think it's wide open this year more so. We say it, I think, every year. It's a wide open tournament.
It really,
Ronnie here. Ronnie says Tennessee will win it all. Couldn't beat Vanderbilt. I'll tell you what, actually, a game for Saturday when Vanderbilt plays at Florida, that'll be another play I'm on. I'm going to be on the Gators there.
Hey, guys. I had Ronnie on a call today. I want to tell you something right now. Ronnie was fantastic. He loved the call. Everything that I told him, showed him, and he's loving OddsJam. I just want to tell you that right now.
Awesome,
okay?
Ronnie. Hey, get on Twitter and give us a shout out and share some progress, some plays, and get in on the fun, man.
Okay, sorry, Randall.
No, you're right. I mean,
I had to get to Ronnie.
I was just saying Vanderbilt plays at Florida on Saturday. That's going to be another S10 play. We might have 2 or 3 S10 plays, Bob. We may have yours backed up, Mike's on the primer, and mine ready to go.
Well,
we might be able to paint Mike's after Saturday.
Get those trash bags.
There you go.
Those trash bags out.
Greg says it's wide open. And
Ronnie, no,
yes,
Ronnie, do not stroke this man's ego.
Thank
Get
you,
this off
Ronnie.
the screen. No, Ronnie. No. Bob doesn't need to hear
there.
No, his head's already swelling. Right? I mean, look how much of the camera your head's taking up already, Bob.
Oh, my hat won't even fit.
No, it probably won't. Won't.
I appreciate it. All right. Let's get to the bet tracker and let's get to some bets, guys. I want to see if there's any college basketball out there. Mike, I'm going to share my screen real quick and just show my bet tracker, just the progress so far, all right?
Sure.
So here we are on the dashboard. This is the month so far. 415.85, bad night last night.
Yeah, me too.
6 out of 8 positive, 85.96 profit. Love that. Lots of positive EV, 6,600. I'm excited about that. But what I want to show you more than anything is a sweat station. We have no live bets right now. We got 21 upcoming, $420 on the line. We could have a potential payout of $828, which would be $408 in profit. Let me show you, and I'll even pull up last night's, and you can see what the progress is in some of these games, okay? So we have lines here for, when you get a player prop over 30.5, you could see Embiid finish with only 28. Under 6.5 goals in this game, well, they went over 7. Why in the hell they scored 3 goals in the last 3 minutes is beyond me, probably because they wanted to piss me off. Mika Zibanejad under 3.5 player shots on goal, got 3, and by the way, hockey, you can win by the hook and lose by the hook a lot. But once again, great. There's that Alabama spread and the over, which was, once again, all positive EV plays that Alabama one was. So, Mike, tell me you're on something good tonight.
I hope so. I really, really hope so. We've got our NHL 2-leg parlay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay over Colorado. I mean, Tampa Bay is dynamite at home. The only team better than them, Bob, at home is who, the Boston Bruins. 24-2 at home this year. Again, second best record in the NHL, only behind Boston. Tampa Bay's just unstoppable, it seems like, at home. Colorado is struggling to score. I mean, they just lost to the Ducks, Bob. Just lost to Anaheim. You know, Tampa Bay is going to want to get back at Colorado for that loss in the finals last year. I think Tampa Bay is better than Colorado right now as they stand. And I'm going to take Tampa Bay at home. And their offense has been good. Scored 16 goals in the last 5 games. So, again, with Colorado struggling to score, advantage Tampa Bay. And then, you know, we were back in the Kraken, right? The other night, Bob, that was the big talk. And we're not back in them.
You were back in the Kraken.
I was, and I'm not tonight.
You were slacking too.
I was slacking back in the Kraken. Not happening tonight. All right.
Okay, that's good.
Look, Seattle's good on the road, no two ways about it. But they have lost their last 2 on the road after that big, you know, what was it, 7 or 8 in a row they won on the road on that long road trip they had. They were dynamite. Now they're on a 5-game road trip again. I don't think they're going to have that same success. You know, they're going to struggle, and they already have in the first 2 of this. And both of these teams are potent offensively. The difference is, I think New Jersey's a little better of a defensive team than Seattle.
Right.
You know, I really do. They only allow 2.6 per game compared to Seattle over 3 a game, you know. So I'll take New Jersey at home on the money line tonight. So those are the 2 NHL bets. Now my question is, Bob, are you on both of those or against them?
I'm just going to say I had to take a picture of that. That's right, Bob. You're the best. I'm going to keep that up there for a while.
Oh, my God. Answer the question.
Let's see. I'm not on. I would say yes on New Jersey. I'm definitely on Tampa Bay. They are one of my picks. So, yeah.
Yeah, you've been riding Tampa Bay for years.
You know, you got to. Let me tell you something.
You're a bandwagon fan.
Let me explain something to y'all. You got to be stupid not to ride Tampa Bay at some point in time because they've had too much success. John Cooper is a great coach. And you want to talk about coaching in college basketball, you're not going to see any better coach in the NHL than John Cooper. He's proven it time and time again.
Enough.
And you know, he's a great coach. And you know what? The leadership on that team, and y'all could say whatever you want to about my boy Patrick Maroon, but when it comes playoff time, he gets that.
All right.
Stinky glove in guys' faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to hear no more.
Let's quit fantasizing about your
baby.
All right. Let's get into some bets. You're going what? You're off your rocker right now, dude. Goodness. All right. Let's look at this bet. What do we got going on here? Only BetMGM showing us a line on this. No, Caesars and Pinnacle have a line. So we got a couple of books to compare it to. I like it. Getting -110. It's favored on the other 2 books that have a play on this pretty heavily. So this Torrey Craig over 16.5 PRA looks good. I just locked this one in. Both of these. DeAndre Ayton over 21.5 points tonight. Now, I know DeAndre Ayton is hit and miss so much, but it looks like a lot of books have him heavily favored tonight for this to go over. You see these 3 books, FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings, all juicing this very, very heavily. Pinnacle at -140. So they're all really, really, really sharp on this play, on his over. I love that play, getting -115. And let's see if there's anything else out here that we want to hit last minute.
I want you to play the college basketball play.
Yeah, there's several. We'll take a look at some of them. The Schroeder play over 26.5 on his PRA, -110 on BetMGM. You see what everywhere prices this at? Pretty good. Getting -110. We're getting underdog value. BetMGM favoring his under to hit. Everywhere else favoring his over to hit. Getting -110 on a side that Most books are favoring to hit. I love those types of play. UCLA, Oregon State over 123.5.
That's got to hit. Randall, come on. It's 123.5 with UCLA and Oregon State. That's got to hit, don't you think, guys?
I would say, UCLA is getting to 70, maybe 80. It's a matter of can Oregon State score 50 or 55? I think that's the real question. But no, there's some good value there on over 123.5. One point to the Lakers tonight after the LeBron record. Are they is LeBron under on his total points? Is that a good bet tonight?
I actually found value on his under last, and I was probably too late to the party on that one. There was probably value on his over last game. But yeah, I think that I would lean towards his under tonight, honestly.
Breaks the record, and I
don't think there's any doubt that I would lean towards his under.
And loses the game. Way to go, LeBron.
Yeah, well.
Hey, you know what, though? To be fair, he did – he beat Kareem in like 110 fewer games played. That's pretty impressive, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm taking nothing away from him.
No.
Not taking anything away from him at all. Okay.
Hey, this Aaron Gordon play looks pretty good, over 27.5 on his PRA. It's minus 104. Everywhere favoring this to hit. Again, we're getting minus 104 on a play that's favored to hit everywhere. So this is another really, really good one. You want to go lock that in on Bet Rivers right now. If you are in that book, and hopefully you are, because if you're not, you need to be. And you can hit me up, and I'll get you a link to get set up. Yeah, that's about it that I'm on tonight, Bob. Not a lot else out here that I'm looking to hit right now. I've got plenty out there. Wanted to hit several last minute. Nothing else really popping out at me. This Jokic play, I had value on his over. Player made threes earlier, so I would stay away from the under right now. And that's it. That's all I got.
All right. I get in here because I can. I want in here and I want to share because I want to look.
You're the best, Bob.
You know what? I've heard that once today.
You have.
I know. You guys jealous or something? Or
there you go.
Is that what it is?
If
I could get to the positive EV page, I would ask you a couple of questions here.
I got it pulled up for you, Bob, right here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why mine's not pulling up.
Oh, not that. I mean the comment saying that you're the best, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Stephen Batts has got a couple of questions.
Steven's here. He wasn't here this morning.
Colorado Avalanche almost a lock for the Western Conference future. No, not with the way they're playing right now. Mike, would you agree?
Ah, man. You would have to think that come playoff time, there's a chance they could still get the job done. I don't know how many teams I trust in the West, whereas the East, I feel like there's a couple of teams, in my opinion, that are the top dogs, and there's some good teams in the East, but I just don't feel there's one dominant team in the West, like you're seeing with Boston in the East. So I think Colorado's still a good future pick. Probably you could get good value on them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely still good value.
What about
he's going to use that Lakers game as a
Blues are done.
Example of why
you won't be hearing any Blues talk out of Bob.
Hey, I've got a customer comment here, okay? An audience comment, and you're interrupting me with Blues talk, okay? Now, can I finish this?
Yeah, you can answer the question.
As a permanent example of why not the parlay game and player props at the same time. Hey, that's a good one, Steven. That's probably very, very true. I'm going to share my screen here, though. The Blues are probably not going to make the playoffs this year. Okay.
No.
They're probably not. It's just not going to happen. So,
No,
I don't know what else you want me to say other than that. I don't want to hear no more crap on anybody about it.
Well,
I'm not giving any crap. I was just asking if they had any value.
No, not right now. I don't see anything in what they're doing.
No historical run like from a couple of years back.
No, because they just lost one of the guys that was a part of the historical run. So I'm just not. I'm not into it right now. All right, look, I gotta go with this here. Hang on a second. Let me change my market width here. I don't know why I'm having issues, so I can share my screen here in a second. It's taking so long to pop up. All right, here we go. Because I got college basketball stuff, and I like to bet on teams like Farley Dickinson and
Long Island University.
Long Island University. Yes. So here we got Ohio State minus 2.5 first half point spread. Randall, yay or nay?
I don't know. I can't bet it. Can't bet Northwestern, so I don't even look at those games.
But yeah, you can't bet it, but what's your feel? You like that? I kind of like it.
Trust the math. I mean, don't ask me. I think they're both garbage.
Okay. Under 143.5 Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky.
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm gonna bet that actually right now. Let's bet that. What is the click that game real quick? What's the
you want the event page?
Yeah, if it'll load.
We'll have to see. By the way, one of the other things that I like that is happening now is that when you do click the event page, it will load into a different window, which allows you to stay and maneuver through whatever you're maneuvering through. Okay, so you want the total here, or you want point spread, or what do you want?
I just want to, what's the main line on that? 142.5?
Yeah, probably 142.5 is the main line.
And we're getting 143.5?
143.5, yes.
Under?
Under.
Hitting it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm on it.
Okay, all right. Trying to help you out, man. That's what I'm here for. Here we go. Sacramento State and Northern Arizona. And I'm going to tell you right now, Northern Arizona games are a lot of fun to watch. I'm just going to throw that out there. Sacramento State money line plus 100. What do you think, Randall? I think I'm on it.
Go with it. See what? Plus 100. I'm if you click on the play, I'm sure there's.
Well, I'm having so much problems with stuff loading right now. I'm going to stay away from it. All right. I got that. I got me a couple of extra plays in there for last minute betting. We've had Randall on here. We got to go. He's been great as usual. But you know what? The only thing that I can say is he's been great as usual, but he's not been the best. And we all know who that is.
You're the best, Bob.
I know.
Best to ever do it.
I know. Isn't that great? By the way, Ronnie is a 69-year-old man, and I can relate to him, okay? He's a grandpa like me. All right.
We got new people checking in, Bob. I like it.
I know. We got all kinds of people that check in nowadays. It's good.
Keep coming in.
I'm telling you, man. They get on that calls with me, and we get them reeled in here. They come in. All right. We'll see you later. Randall will be here. We're going to do something Saturday morning, okay?
Let's make some money.
If Mike gets out of bed, he can join us, right?
I'm always out of bed, bro. I don't join morning coffee anytime.